Okay, Chris, this is your so I'm going to evaluate your swing now. We're gonna talk about the changes we made and then how we made. Okay, so this is your impact. As you see, one on the left is before, one on the right is after. You can see that there's a dramatic changes. I don't think I have to explain this to you. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about a few changes here you made. First, but look at the shot lean on the after. You can see that your hands are much more in front of it, whereas before your hands are more on the more back. So you can see we're more compressing it, whereas before we're scooping it, right? There's a huge difference. I mean, there's a huge difference right there. And look at the difference on your club face. Look at the compression on the face. You can see that you're de-lofting here, on de-lofting your club face here on the right. You can see that you're de-lofting, whereas before you're adding the loft here on the left. Okay, so there's a dramatic change. I mean, huge change right there. Okay, so we want to know how we did that. That's the thing, right? How did we make what we did? What did we do to create this motion? And before we go further, look at your legs. Look at your right legs. How active is your right leg here on the right compared to before? Okay, your leg is actually moving towards the target. Do you see that? Yeah, and look at your hip. Okay, look at your left arm. It's much more straighter on the right. Your left arm is much more straighter, whereas on the before it was bent. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about how we did that. Like, look at the backswing here. If I bring it back, look at the downswing. Okay, now let me zoom out this. Whereas after. Look at that. Huge change right there, right? Okay. Now I think I explained to you the turning of the club face. We need to able to turn and close the club face. That's all you did. Look at that. I'm gonna do it at the same time. You can see the big difference right there. Where on the left, if you can see here, your face is at the loft. Before after you're actually de-lofting. Okay, look at the change. Whew. Look at your head. Your head is still down, where it's not we're turning it. You're not comfortable right at this point. Look at your right shoulder is actually pushing your head, where after to make changes, your right shoulder actually goes under your chin. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay. Wow, that's any questions so far? Great. So just mention it. It's hard to see at this view, but we worked on the turning using rotating our right forearm, left forearm, open and closing. Okay, I will explain to you again our next meeting, but this is something you need to work on, opening and closing the club face. Okay, great job.